Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's realistic review in which we are taking a look at the Yak-3 sitting at 4.0 battle rating. This is the ultimate Yak, the perfect Yak for me, man. This plane is just what I described to you when I talked about the Yak-9T and the Yak-9K not quite being it for me, although I like those planes and they perform well. And they have great guns with shenanigans and explosions. They're not my favorite guns. I like the Beresins and the Schwaks more because of their reliability. There's less RNG involved. And this has that setup. One Schwak cannon and two Beresin machine guns with decent ammo. And this is the perfect Yak for me thus. And it also has a better engine and is a little bit lighter because of that. Gun setup, because the gun is lighter, the ammo is lighter, and that all translates into a much better package that is substantially better in performance compared to the Yak-9T and compared to the Yak-9K, while still sitting at a 4.0 battle rating. That is unfortunate. I hit that guy. I hit that ally. He made a swing to the right and then he came back. With a swing to the right, I thought, okay, he's going out of the way, I can shoot at the target. Then focused on the target, started shooting, and he veered back in and I hit him. So yeah, sorry man, unfortunate. But to come back to this Yak for me is the ultimate Yak. It still sits at 4.0 battle rating in an ultimately better package compared to those other two planes, which also sit at a 4.0 battle rating. So this is a fantastic Yak. And let's have a look at her because this is really awesome. You'll notice the differences. I'll point to some differences with the Yak-9T, for example. The maximum speed in the Yak-3 at sea level is 560. At 4,500 meters this is 511. And at 6,500 meters still go up to 448 kilometers an hour. This is an indicated airspeed without MIG. Now that is an average of around 40 kilometers an hour faster than the Yak-9T at those same altitudes. 40 kilometers an hour faster, same battle rating. That is a huge boost to speed. This is thus also a fast plane. Compared to competition, it is, of course there's planes that are as fast as this, but this goes way up there compared to the other two Yaks at 4.0 when it comes to speed. This is not in the average category anymore, where it's in the middle of the pack like the Yak-9T. This is a topper, man. This is a fast plane. Even at those higher altitudes it is quite fast. Of course, you run into the same problem as all Yaks have when it comes to diving. I mean, the top speed in a dive in this plane is still 650 before she redlines and around 720ish before she rips apart. Although, just like with the other Yaks, if you go with heavy G movements at the high speeds that this plane actually can't handle, like if you are above the red line, then let's say you can definitely trigger patience, Jengar, trigger patience, god damn it. You know it by now. Anyway, I was getting a little bit carried away with that guy and his rolling. But he is allowed his maneuvers. Defensive spiral dive. That was what that was, and that was well performed. But anyway, what was I talking about? I was talking about the rip speed. Yeah, you can actually rip this plane at a speed of around 680, 690 already if you pull heavy G's in a dive above the red line. So be aware of that. You got to keep it steady in a dive. Once you hit that red line, make sure that you straighten out and keep it there and just pull elevator, nothing else, and you'll pull out safely most of the time, probably, if you're not too steep in, because this plane's acceleration is excellent. It's also a step up from the Yak-9T, which was very good, but again, this plane is a little lighter, plane has a better engine, the acceleration is better. And it reaches that red line very quickly, or the rip speed very quickly after going over the red line. So if you're in a dive, so beware of that. Control stiffening starts a little later. Well, it seems 500 for the first little tick in roll rate compression, and then 600 again more for the roll rate. It becomes a little bit sluggish then, and the elevator starts to be infected a little bit as well there, and that becomes a little worse when you get closer to the red line. But yeah, a little better than the other Yak-9s. Yaks, it's not a Yak-3, but the other Yak-9s, basically the T and the K, which are the same battle rating. Best comparison there. The stall speed is around 130, which is kind of regular for the Yaks. It's alright. Firepower is good, with one 20mm Svak cannon with 120 rounds, and then two 12.7mm Barrison UB machine guns with 150 rounds. Now that ammo load on the Barrisons is not as good as they usually is, because most Barrisons on most Yaks get 200 rounds, but you get two, of course, and you get 120 rounds on the Swaks, which is kind of the standard setup. So ammo load is average to decent. The acceleration in this plane is a tick up from the Yak-9T and the Yak-9K. It is very good in a straight line and great in a dive. With that better engine, a little bit more performance there, which is great. Energy retention also improved a little bit, which is excellent both in the horizontal and in the vertical. You really notice the power difference in the vertical, so it performs better in the vertical than those other two Yaks. Also thanks to the amount of weight that is less compared to those planes, with the heavy big hitting machine guns, which are quite a bit heavier, and those ammo loads as well. So yeah, this plane is better energy fighter, better in stall maneuvers, keeps its energy better in turns. The stain turning is better because of that. It is just all round nice little boost to this plane, which just makes it a perfect setup for me. Yeah, and I'm drooling, as you may notice, especially with that difference, man. When I started playing this thing, I had 9 deaths and 0 kills. I was looking for this plane, I couldn't find it. I was like, usually I'm looking on kills, I think, well, I flew it before, I probably have 5-6 kills. So I'm starting to look in this area, couldn't find it. Went through the whole list, couldn't find it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just look it up on name. Might be handier this time. And I found it. 0 kills, 9 deaths. But anyway, after I started flying this plane, I went up to a total of 12 deaths and 30 kills, which means that since I flew it 9 years ago, just picked it up now, I have 30 kills and 3 deaths, which is a 10-to-1 kill death ratio. This is far beyond my average. I mean, my usual performance, I'm happy with I'm content, let's say, with 3-to-1 kill death ratio. I am a little bit more happy with 4-to-1, and 5-to-1 and above is above my average. So I think 4-to-1 is about the average, and 2-to-1 is lower. It's usually planes that I flew in the past, because if I fly them now, I usually do better. But 10-to-1 is outstanding. It's out there. That's an outlier performance, right? For me. And I mean, may some of you be that 10-to-1 is normal. There is some out there. Excellent. Some of the best pilots in War Thunder. But 10-to-1 for me is an outlier. It's outstanding. And I have more of those. You know, if I fly in the zone and I'm perfect, and the plane is good, then I can do those numbers, but they're the outliers. And it's just awesome. Great climb rate on this plane as well, because of the better engine. Below 4,000 it can compete with the better climbers. It's awesome. Turn time is one of the lesser points of this plane. Above average, decent with flaps. Only the flaps rip off at 380, which is super early, like all the Yaks. flap rippage and wing rippage are the main problems of this plane. So use your flap sparingly on the top ends of your loops and only in very sustained turns where you already slowed down a lot. Roll rate decent to good, with overall maneuverability being decent in this plane. The overheating is present but manageable. It does overheat with 100%, but so you gotta fly it usually at 96%. And then in the climb I would use 100. Then when you reach 4,000 meters around that area, you just put it at 95%. Continue flying like that, continue climbing like that until you engage players, and then put it at 100% a little before you have the engagement, so you can pick up that little bit extra speed. Durability is good. You can take a hit or two in this plane. It is a sturdy, robust plane that doesn't fall apart at the seams at the first shot, so it can take a little bit of damage there. That's good. So yeah, overall, man, this plane is a fan-freaking-tastic energy fighter, especially below 4,000 meters. It might actually be one of the better ones at this battle rating. It is really awesome. I had no problems with the competition, and like I said, it went 10 to 1. That is an outlying performance. What an awesome plane in the energy fighting role. It can do boom and zooming, but very short runs. Cannot do long boom and zoom runs. It is not suited for standard boom and zooming. But if you keep it to short boom and zoom runs, it can actually do that very well. And the turn fighting is possible with flaps, but the roll rate and the turns are alright. There is, especially most of the dedicated boom and zoomers, you can definitely outmaneuver them. Like the P-51, the Corsairs, the P-47s, C-205s and stuff like that, all 109s. It is all less good than this plane when it comes to maneuvering. So you will outmaneuver them easily. Going from the energy fighting role, stall maneuvers to dogfighting is very enjoyable in this plane. And T is just an outlier, man. This is, as I said, maybe it's because it's the perfect setup for me that I did so well in it, with the guns that I like best. The battle rating is nice, it's still 4.0. I love the battle rating 4.0, 5.0. It's a great battle rating range to fly at. A lot of different pilots there as well, level 100s. A lot of people fly in this battle rating range. It is awesome. 3.0, 5.0 in that range. I love flying there. There's some great iconic World War II planes there. It's just so enjoyable. But this Yak, perfect setup. I loved it. I would love to keep flying it, but I have to move on to the next review, unfortunately. Yeah, this is an energy beast and the ultimate Yak for me. This is my favorite Yak. It doesn't get any better than this for me. The performance, the engine, the frame, the transitioning between roles. It's just guns. Perfect setup. 4 kills in this match, and again the timer that ends this match. Freaking frustrating. But oh well. And it was an up tier as well. Rank does not matter. Terror of the Sky, Balancer, Bulletproof, 37,000 silver lions only because of that friendly kill, and 15,000 research points. I'll see you in the conclusion. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. This is my definitive favorite Yak of all times. I like this thing. It is perfect for me. Perfect. With the performance, the better engine, the guns that are my preferred guns. This is my... Wow. What a Yak. What a Yak this is. It is awesome. And it is a cut above the Yak-9T and the Yak-9K in performance, which are also at 4.0 battle rating. The Yak-9-3 is by far my favorite from those three because of the performance, being a little lighter, having the better engine. It just all translates into a significantly better plane that performs in such a sweet way. It is awesome. I went 10 to 1 in my flyouts for this review. My stats are convoluted, of course, because of the early flyouts that I did in it. 9 deaths, 9 games, 9 deaths, 0 kills. But 10-1 is far above my average. And this plane just... Well, I'm in love with this plane. I'm drooling. I will admit it. I had not flown this plane. I had this... I don't know... it's a covered memory thing, probably, with which I avoided this plane. But now, coming through the Soviet lines and flying it again, I've fallen in love with the Yak-3. Awesome plane. Guys, I've said enough. Hopefully you will enjoy it as well. It's an energy fighter that does a little bit of short boom and zoom runs, but of course it has the Yak problem with the red line and stuff and the rip speed, and it does turn fight quite reasonably, so it's an awesome plane. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.